Welcome back. All right, so assignment deals explain. Let's talk about assignment deals and how to dispose your contract like a pro. I have another segment that I just finished. You might want to watch that along with this one or rewind or make sure you really get it. But I'm going to go through the steps again. It's a little bit different, but this time around, I want to explain what assignment deals and double close and a new method that a lot of people are talking about, novation. Okay, novation is actually before they call it novation. I've done novations in the past, but now there's name for everything. But let me promise you about something. Many of you might have even found out about wholesale before. Okay, what is wholesale business or wholesale real estate? Wholesale real estate is the business of finding deeply discounted properties. It's a business. Okay, it's not a fly by night anything. It's a real business that will require some effort on your part, but when it starts to produce, it's going to feel like you're printing money. Okay, it's the business of finding deeply discounted real estate properties, securing them under a purchase contract, and then assigning that contract to an end buyer, usually a cash buyer investor, for a fee. For a fee, money, right? The typical assignment fee starts at around $10,000, with an average net profit ranging between $15,000 to $20,000 per deal. My highest that I've ever done is $82,000 per deal. And how do we start? It's very simple. It's three phases: marketing, digital marketing in this case. That's what I teach here. Digital marketing, acquisition, and disposition. Digital marketing, acquisition, and disposition. Now, the disposition part of it is what I want to focus on a little bit right now. Okay, so once you market and then you have a bunch of people call you, well, every other day somebody calls you, they might have a property, but then you find a really good deal and you went through the acquisition. That means you lock it up under a purchase contract. Okay, and then you dispose your contract like a pro. That's what we want to talk about. So once you have those contracts, you have to assign those contracts to an end buyer. And that's what we call assignment deals. Okay, but assignment deal is one of multiple different types of disposition. Okay, we have assignment. We also have double close. All right, and assignment simply means you take that same contract. That same contract has been written in a way that you're able to sign it over to an end buyer investor. Okay, they will usually pay you at closing once everything flows through. Right now, the other type of closing is probably what I recommend. Is most of my deals have happened through this method, and it's called double closing, meaning there are two different contracts. There's an A to B contract, and there's a B to C contract. So the original sales contract, the one that you locked up, was a contract between you and the actual seller. And then the second part of the contract, another contract entirely, is a contract between you and the buyer. So there's two separate contracts, okay? And those two separate contracts are two separate transactions. Back in the days, we were able to use the same fund from the end buyer to do the deal all the way through. But today, they kind of since 2008, around 2008 2010, they enforced that it must be two different type of funds that will fund those two different transactions. Now the two different transactions are usually about 5 minutes apart or less. You close one deal, you now own the house for like 2 minutes, and then you sell the house to another person. That's double closing. It's still the safest way to do it. Okay, because it's separated. It separates the contracts. Now you have one title work. Title work is basically the history of the property, and you've made sure it's clean. So same title company, same attorney is handling the transaction. So they check everything, make sure everything is good to go, and it's all legal. Okay. Now some situation might have stipulations, but stipulations means there's always a way to walk around it legally. You just have to make sure you obey the rules. All right, and that's why I always use attorneys. All right, so now with that being said, now you understand this assignment. It's the same contract, but you sign an assignment contract that says you're going to get paid $10,000, but it's the same purchase contract for the real estate. But for double closing, you have two different types of contract. Okay, so I wanted to give you a quick breakdown of what that looks like. All right, now with that being said, Now that we got that out of the way, um, there's something called protecting your profit. I told you the story. My first deal. My first deal was just, it wasn't even an assignment contract. Obviously, it was my first deal. It was just one contract from the seller to the buyer, and I was collecting a fee. And today that would be inappropriate. Okay, I was collecting a fee, and I wasn't a licensed realtor. But back in 2005, they let a lot of things slide. So they just had a fee for my name, Ola Bitogun, $20,000. And because the one statement sheet, the hard one statement, right? This is a statement of all where all the monies are going, like the appraiser, the inspector, the title company, the attorney, all those fees are in one statement, right? How the money is going to be disbursed. And my name was one name on there. And I didn't even start my first LLC company at the time. It was after closing that deal that I created my first LLC. So people ask me all the time, do I need an LLC? Yes, you need an LLC, but you know what you need more so? You need to learn how to do the business and start marketing, okay? The LLC thing, you can create that right now in 2 minutes on the internet. That's the easiest part. Doing the business is where you need to put your head down and get to work, okay? So anyway, so because it's the same statement sheet, the guy saw that I was making $20,000 off of the deal. Okay, I still remember the house. The house is on 45. Is it Ogden? Something like that in Newark. I have a list of all the deals I've done. But anyway, sorry, Mon Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. So $20,000, and then he saw it, and the guy said he's not gonna do the deal. He said, "Why am I making $20,000 off of his house?" I'm like, "Your house? You called me. You wanted to sell the house. The house is sold. This is just money going towards the parts of the transaction." The guy said it's not gonna close. I said I'll give you $10,000 more, and we had to change the numbers, and then we gave him $10,000 more. So that's how I ended up with $10,000 for my first deal. Okay. So that, why did I tell you that? If you want to protect your profit, you don't want everybody to, like, if I had done a double closing, then that fee would have been on another transaction in another hot sheet that has nothing to do with this transaction. I would have closed the deal clean, and then I'm now selling the house to somebody else, and I'm just making money from selling my own house within 5 minutes. So that's what double closing does, and then obviously you need the right kind of contract and stuff like that. You need the right people to help you through this kind of transaction. You need investor friendly title company and attorneys and all those kind of people in your corner. All right. So that's how that works. It's very simple. So double closing, the renovation is basically, you notice that the numbers that you locked under contract is too high, and it's best to list the house on the market. And there's something called novation where you can still take a contract, and then when you do find a buyer, you simply swap the contract. So that's another method that people are talking about. But for me, if you're doing marketing properly and you're marketing and you fill your pipeline with leads coming in from time to time, you won't need to cut a bunch of corners that people are trying to cut these days. So just keep it simple. Acquire deals, and dispose those deals with double closing. Keep them simple and keep your profit, keep your operation straight line simple. And the more deals you do, the more tolerance you will have for some more creative stuff. But you need to know the business first. All right. So if you don't do double closing, then there's issues like ARV compromise. ARV means after repair value and things like that. And then also contract expiration. This happens if you don't have all your, you don't have to have everything perfect. Let me be careful with that. But when it comes to marketing, just get going. Okay, you're gonna learn as time goes on. What I did is that first deal I did by myself, but the subsequent 3 deals after that I had in the pipeline already. I did it with a partner mentor, and that's the same thing I'm offering people right now. That's why I do this for free, because I'm looking to partner with you and make money with you. Okay. So, but assignment deals are okay. It's just that there's only, when you assign a deal, a lot of time if there's what do you call them, hard money lender involved in the deal, if there's a lender involved in the deal, they restrict the money you can make to like $10,000 or $15,000. They don't want to see some high fee on the hard one, going to some random who claim to have found the deal. It just doesn't look good on their books as far as they're concerned. They would rather keep the, because hard money lenders are in the business to make money from investors. They rather keep that money to themselves. But if you're doing double closing, they don't care. Okay. Why was I able to make $82,000 from one deal? Because it was double closing. All right. So that's it right there. That's I wanted to, hopefully you learn one or two things today. Do me a favor. If you like what we're doing here, we're trying to reboot this channel. Again, there's more than 1,300 videos. We have some viral videos, but we're trying to reboot the channel, bring us back to speed again. I'm looking to partner with you. The business is very, very simple. There's tons of information out there. My job is to keep things a little bit more straightforward for you so you can get to a deal as fast as humanly possible. I'm on the same journey. Okay, so I'm actually building things. I'm building out a system. I have a system because there's no learning curve. I know this stuff. But what I'm saying is that we're on a journey together. We're partnering together now. It's not just me teaching you a course and then you just go out there. So let's get into some marketing. Let's get some things going. Follow my lead, and then we got things going. But the first step, you need access to PropStream. You need to explore that. There's tutorials in there, there's videos in there, and on the homepage of this channel, there are 2 courses for free that you can follow. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and learn the game. If you have any questions, all my contact information is scrolling through the screen. Take them down. They should also be in the description. All right. That's all I have for you today. We're going to keep it simple. I want you to go ahead and have the rest of your day. Have a fantastic one. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I will be right back soon.